Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd also like to ask a couple questions about TikTok. So just to level set everyone about TikTok, TikTok has 150 million American users, and an astounding number of Americans actually rely on TikTok as their primary news source. One statistic is that 1/3 of all Americans between the ages of 18 and 30 rely on TikTok as their primary news source. As everyone knows, TikTok is owned by the PRC company called ByteDance. So, Mr. Garneau, I just want to focus a little bit on ByteDance and its ties to the CCP. Sir, like other PRC-based companies, ByteDance itself has a CCP internal committee, correct?
That's correct.
And the secretary of that CCP committee is a gentleman named Zhang Fuping, right?
That's correct.
Can you throw up the visual for a second? We found this on the internet. This is Mr. Zhang on the right. He's not only the secretary of the CCP committee, he is the editor-in-chief of ByteDance and its vice president. And in that picture, he's standing next to the director of the CCP's domestic paramilitary force. Now, Mr. Zhang has said that ByteDance should, quote, transmit the correct political direction of the CCP into every business and product line. And that includes TikTok, right, Mr. Garneau?
That's correct.
And though TikTok says it does not influence or censor content on the CCP's behalf, it is ByteDance that ultimately controls TikTok's algorithm, right?
That's right.
And we know this because the CCP wants it to be that way. In 2020, when ByteDance was about to be forced to divest TikTok by the Trump administration, the CCP immediately placed export controls that stopped ByteDance from selling the algorithm to anyone. Isn't that right?
That's correct.
Let me turn your attention to this issue of American data security in TikTok. Under Chinese law, ByteDance is required to share user data with the CCP as part of its intelligence gathering. TikTok's attempt to address these concerns is an initiative called Project Texas that attempts to firewall American user data. Now, TikTok claims it's independent from Beijing and will not share American data if asked. But Ms. Wang leaked audio from internal TikTok meetings show that ByteDance employees in China accessed American user data in 2021 after Project Texas started, right?
Correct.
And so regardless of what TikTok says, if ByteDance can access American user data and ByteDance is subject to CCP control, then ByteDance, regardless of what TikTok does, can fork over American user data to the CCP, right?
That's correct.
CCP access to TikTok data is not theoretical. In October 2022, ByteDance granted CCP regulators in-person access to TikTok's back end, which hosts nearly all of TikTok's internal communications. Again, TikTok's claims of independence to me, Ms. Wang, appear to ring hollow in light of these facts. What do you think?
That's very correct.
Let me I want to turn your attention to another social media app that some of us forgot about that was actually attempted to be acquired by another PRC-based entity, and that was Grindr. In 2018, a PRC company bought this app, which is the world's largest online dating app for the LGBTQ community. But then in 2019, the U.S. forced the Chinese company to divest Grindr. Why was that, Ms. Wang?
The concern for the Chinese government's access to the data on Grindr.
And what kind of data was it, and why was there a concern?
It's a dating app. Of course, there are personal data on the dating app, and also the main concern is the employees who work for the American government and other entities that.
That's right.
Yeah, correct.
There were officials of the American government whose data was on the app. There were members of the military whose data was on the app, and there was a concern that they would be blackmailed potentially by the CCP if they got their hands on that data. Finally, let me just point you to this, which is that TikTok claims that its location information can't be used to track U.S. data U.S. users. However, isn't it true that ByteDance employees in China track down U.S. journalists with this data?
Correct.
Thank you.